too that I played
How's that going?
with.
Yeah, right.
Ken.
Got it.
How's that going?
Got it. Okay. Well, have a great day, Rod. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You guys take care. Stay safe.
Take care, Rod.
You too.
Yeah, all the best of luck for putting in the new points, mate.
Yeah, I'll put some pictures. I'll put some pictures up. Going to take my construction vehicles down there and plot them around where it's going to happen. After
Make sure everybody's got a day glow vest on.
yeah, the high vis and all the rest of it. Yeah, and then there'll be someone there taking notes. Yeah, isn't that right?
And the lollipop men as well.
One of the typical government workers, there'll be 6 or 7 of them all standing around leaning on the shovel and one doing the work.
There you go.
See you guys.
Yeah.
See you later. Rod.
Rod.
So have you gotten anywhere with your little layout, Michelle?
Well, I actually I found a layout that I bought years ago and kind of forgot I had at the museum. So I think it was about 6 years ago. This layout came in as a donation and we weren't going to keep it. And I said, oh, it's perfect for me in my N scale, but I didn't have anywhere to put it. So I wrapped it all up in plastic and I put it on top of the shipping containers. And then I found it when we were cleaning. So I actually have a little layout.
Oh, so you don't have to go
See
through
the rest
all.
of the room. It's a work in progress. See that? Whoop, there we go.
Oh, there.
I have a little in-scale
cool.
layout.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It needs buildings. It has no buildings, but it runs. We were able to scrounge out a little Digitrack Zephyr, and it didn't have a power cord, so Bill like spliced together this thing for me that's like got electrical tape around it, so we can power it.
One
Like
flash in your ass.
I gotta buy something, but I don't know what I want to buy. I'll probably end up buying NCE, but I was looking at some of the other ones at the National Train Show, and I just thought maybe I'd try something different. I don't know.
You can't go wrong with the NCE. It's
Yeah.
really easy.
What are the modelers in your area use? Are they
We're all
predominantly NCE or Digitrax?
Well, we're in CE, but see, the whole reason I want to model is because I want to go to the 2024 Fremo N like event in Evanston, and they're all Digitrax. So I didn't know what to do. So I hadn't decided yet. So I'm running a little Digitrax so I can learn how to use it. And then I know how to use it in CE, so I'll probably end up buying one. But it's
The usual thought is run what's
$350,
in your area, because if you need help, people can help you.
right? I also kind of wanted to get a TCS throttle and play with that too, but it's just all money. It's just more money.
Mhm.
I'm learning this hobby is just open your wallet and throw the money out.
And then if you buy the throttle, you got to make sure wherever you take it, you have the adapter for it and plug it in and make sure it works on their layout.
Well, we can use TCS at the museum. We put in an interface so that you can have your own TCS throttle. So we have all our NCE throttles. We have 18 of them. And then you can bring a TCS also.
Will this work?
No cell phones are allowed. Because if you get a call, you can possibly lose control of your train.
Yes, you will.
And so
I
we
think you
won't
can
allow
set
that.
it where it won't.
On the what do you call it? The Y throttle, if you close out the app to answer your phone or take a picture, your train will stop.
Mhm.
But that could be just as bad as keep
Exactly.
going for us.
Same for this too.
We've got a couple guys that use their phone, but they use their old phone. It's not the phone they talk on. They have.
Oh, it's not cellular. It's
Yeah, they've got it turned off. They're not even using the phone anymore. It's like he upgraded his phone, so he kept his old phone for that. But we just had a member that bought the proto throttle, and he spent the $120 on the adapter to plug into our Digitrack system. I was impressed with it Saturday. It's like, ooh.
so we have a proto throttle. They gave it to us, which was a wonderful gift. And when we went to put it on the layout, you tie it to a consist, right? You tie it to specific locomotives. So we were going to tie it to locomotives in one of the yards on the layout. But when you do that, the way you set it up, now you have a braking function that you don't have in a normal NCE setup. That our guys are used to using anyway. We just speed up, slow down. We don't actually brake, right?
Oh, yep.
And so you can acquire that consist with an NCE throttle over to, you know, if somebody doesn't have it hooked up to, if you're not using the proto throttle, you can walk up with an NCE and you acquire those locomotives, and now you don't have a slowdown. It only speeds up without actually knowing which button you need to use for the brake. So they decided not to let it be used on our layout, and I was super sad, just because of the safety reasons. But we are going to run it on our in-scale layout. So I think it'll be really fun.
I don't know that we had any issues. It's the first time he's brought it. He just brought the module and hooked it up. So Saturday was the first time that we've actually used it. So
We should be fine because nobody should be acquiring his locomotives, right?
right, and those were his locomotives. They weren't club locomotives. So
Right. So if you put it on a club locomotive, you might have the same problem that we had with it. But if it's personal stuff, it shouldn't be a problem at all. It should just be fun.
when I got on, you were talking about NC versus Digitrax. So we're all Digitrax here, but after spending time in New Orleans and in Baton Rouge, I actually bought an NCE throttle and am 90% sure that I'm going to sell my whole Digitrax system and have an NCE for my house.
I've used both, and I like the user friendliness of the NCE better myself.
Yeah, I know how to use it.
Yeah,
I'll buy it. I just don't have the money this month because I bought other stuff. So I gotta wait.
I do like Joe's friend. I've got my old iPhone 5 and the Wi-Fi still works with for iThrottle. I was able even to download it, even though it wasn't an active cell phone. So I can take pictures with my iPhone. Almost embarrassed to say I only have an iPhone 8 Plus, but I have that because I still like the button.
yeah,
Yeah.
Maureen's got the new one without the button, and I can't figure the damn thing out.
it's gotten me confused. Yeah,
So I
We
keep
got a
down
couple-
with the button.
I missed the headphone jack too. So
Yeah.
we got a couple guys that use their iPad, and that's pretty much it. I mean, they don't own a throttle at all. They just hook it up to the.
Mhm.
Our problem is the internet is very spotty inside the metal building. We're in the exact center, so sometimes it causes issues there.
we have a Blue Nami in one of our steam locomotives from Soundtracks, and we've just been testing it and playing with it. It's been fun. So I can totally see us wanting it for our garden railroad. I absolutely want to do dead rail with Blue Nami in the locomotives.
Yeah, now that allows you to Bluetooth connect,
Yeah.
do whatever you want with it.
All you need is power to it. Yeah. And so I think it's going to be great.
So Michelle, with Blue Nami, are you able to run that off of battery powered?
Yes, you can. All it needs is
Yeah.
power. So a DC, you can put it on a DC layout and run it and control it from your cell phone or your iPad.
Okay. Yeah, because I got,
Andrew,
About
can you
us.
back up from your microphone some, please? You're
yeah,
very,
because
very
I got
loud. When you
about,
get real close in, you're very, very loud.
yeah, because I got about a 600 foot G scale layout, and I run all off of battery powered.
Yeah, so you can get Blue Namis.
Okay. Yeah,
Wait.
because I guess Phoenix Sound Systems isn't I guess closed is what my boss said.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, so I've been looking at he's been looking at other options. He's been looking at Soundtracks. He's been looking at Loc Sound.
Hey, Michelle, do you need a bigger layout?
Yeah. This is my little test track. I just got this baby so I could actually put and run a train in a circle. I just was super excited about that.
The reason
And
I ask is we got a request in the Front Range division. Somebody wants to donate an N scale, and they have a pretty good layout, I guess, to want to donate it to somebody that needs it.
okay, well, I could help them rehome it. I don't know if I have room though. I really don't have room for anything more than this. I was gonna build a module, but we just took in a layout at the museum. We have a big N scale we're building.
If you decide to do anything, just contact Paul
Okay,
Brennecke.
Paul Brinicki. So your Front Range division, did you know I'm revitalizing the Northern Colorado division?
You are?
I just became the superintendent.
Well,
As
we
I'm
talked
stupid.
about
What else you got to do?
Really? No kidding.
last month, I think it was, we were talking about seeing if we could help revitalize that region up there.
Well, we have a facility. We have plenty of stuff to play with and do. And so I don't want it to be, I don't want to compete with the Northern Colorado Model Railroad Club. My vision for it is really not a monthly meeting like that. I was thinking we could meet once a month on a Saturday after the museum closes and work on our MMRs, do AP program stuff, build car kits, or like, we have so much donated items that we could be utilizing for that and practice weathering or do something. That's my vision for it. It's going to be a weird club, I think, because I'm in charge. So
No, but if you open it up to anybody around in the area, even that's willing to travel that far, I don't see why not.
I'm also going to open it up to the southern Wyoming because they don't have anybody either. They're kind of lost like our people were lost.
They don't have anything up in Cheyenne in that
No,
area?
they disbanded. They were part of a club that was 100% NMRA, and then they had a leadership change and it all kind of, club drama. So a couple of years ago, their NMRA kind of went.
But if you start, are you going to sponsor it through NMRA?
Yeah, it'll be a full, we're going to revitalize and reopen the division. I'm having an information meeting on October 8th. I think that's the Saturday. To talk about, it's called Pizza and Planning. I'm going to feed the guys if they'll show up, and then we'll do some planning and see what everybody really wants to do and who's going to actually be the superintendent. Because I don't want this job forever.
What's Jennifer doing?
Yeah, really. I should put her in charge.
Or even maybe Chris.
We have to figure out if we want to run it. We could run it.
Chris would be too far away.
Yeah.
We could run it separate and use the museum. Do you know what I'm saying? So we got to figure out what kind of structure and all that. So
How's the reconstruction of the layout from down here going?
we lowered it 10 inches. It's all
Okay.
lowered, which is good. And the warehouse project is actually doing so good. I have worked my butt off along with 5 other people, board members and volunteers, and we moved, that Home Depot shelving, those huge metal and plywood shelving. We actually got them moved using little roller things on the floor. And it took us about 5 days of full-time work.
Jeez.
And we rearranged the entire warehouse. And now we have to put it all back together and put stuff on the shelves. And then the layout has space now though. And so does the Garden Railroad. So we got it all cleared out at that end. So
Cool.
yeah, so it's to the point. Did you guys see my Facebook post with that big bundle of wire?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was one of the 6 sections of that layout.
Wow.
Cut out from underneath it. We're totally rewiring it.
Mike, did you say the name Paul Brinicki?
Yeah.
I remember seeing his layout in Model Railroader back in like the early 90s.
The Grand Route?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the same layout that he's getting rid of?
No. This was somebody wanted to donate it to anybody that needed it. It wasn't Paul.
Through the club.
I just had Michelle contact Paul because he's got more information.
Oh, gotcha.
Michael, do you guys meet regularly, Front Range?
Yeah, we meet third Monday of every month.
Where do you meet at?
Pardon?
Where at?
Colorado Railroad Museum.
Oh, you guys are the layout in the basement. Or not?
Yes and no. That's actually the
There's something in
HO Train Club, I think it is. And Jack, can't remember Jack's last name, but Jack kind of heads that club up. And so there are some people from our division that are there, but it's not exclusively our division that does it.
Interesting. Okay. I'm learning.
Yeah, I keep saying that I'm gonna join that, but I just haven't done it yet.
I may go visit one.
You know, I gotta get used to saying, you know, I mentioned the layout you got from down here, but I'm not down there anymore.
I knew what you meant.
Tommy's down there. And you can tell I'm coming live and in color from the new train room. It's empty.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
awesome.
But,
My
and
train
you
room
don't
is
have
full.
anything started on it yet?
Not yet. I got my drum head on the wall. I forgot to plug it in tonight. I'll go plug it in.
It's been a week, Ken. Come on. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
Bench
You
work
really
should
need
be
to come
out.
over.
you
We're
should
still
have-
unpacking
yeah.
stuff. I spent an hour looking for a bottle of paint. I was tonight, so I could touch up something on the numbers on the front of the house. I finally found it, but it got dark, so I didn't get to finish it.
That's the way it
moving,
works.
moving's the worst. I don't know.
It's
Oh,
hard.
man.
The one thing that is like my pet peeve about moving is that you never have the right trash cans. Like you always have to buy a trash can when you move, and I don't know why, but it's like they're never the right sizes or whatever. It's just like my pet peeve. I'm like, and I have to go get another trash can.
We got a new one for the kitchen because Maureen wanted a different kind, and
See?
the one in Kenner, we left there in case we need it when we go back to finish up there, so.
Every time you move, but you buy a trash can. I don't know.
Well, last time I got one was 30-something years ago, so I think I got my money's worth.
Well, good.
Out of it.
37 years in the last place, so
Oh, wow.
I know.
Michelle, how close to, you mentioned southern Wyoming. So I mean, how close to Cheyenne are y'all?
It's about 50 miles. 50,
Okay, that's not
50
bad at all.
drive.
Yeah,
And
it's
most,
not bad
a
at
lot
all.
of our volunteers, the Friday volunteers are all from Cheyenne, pretty much.
I've got family that lives in Laramie and came that close in '92 to actually moving out there. It got
You should
real
come
close.
see me if you go visit. Laramie's not a far drive. That's easy.
No, there's we usually fly into Denver, and well, that was the plan. We were coming a couple years ago, and then in 2020 and COVID hit, we were going to come stay with them for the week, and Mike and I were going to drive over to the museum and different things, and we just haven't put it back on the calendar yet. So
Do it next year in, I think it would be the end of August. If you go look at the STEAM program,
I'm
they go
gonna
right
be-
through Laramie.
I'm going to be in Dallas the end of August. I'm going to the NMRA show next year.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
The chances of it coming within driving distance of me 2 years in a row is probably won't happen again. So one of those.
You
I
should
was very-
definitely go. Texas is going to be fun. I have a meeting shortly. Actually, I'm gonna have to go here in a minute because I'm on the rail tours committee for that.
I was very surprised that it was as close to St. Louis as it was 2 years in a row. You know, usually it's about time for it to go back to the West Coast or something,
It's
or
because
the
they
East Coast.
didn't have it, so they just did it again because of
Hey.
COVID.
Hey, look, I'm glad because I didn't have the opportunity to come to St. Louis. So Texas is actually closer for me, probably 6 hours. So
24 is Long Beach.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be going to that too.
see
That'll be
that won't happen at all for me. So
Yeah.
I'm
They'll
gonna
be
go
out of
to train.
electricity by then.
Yeah, hopefully.
They
Hopefully they don't have
won't be
it.
able to run.
No,
If
I
it's
want to
in
go to the
Long
one in
Beach,
Texas
then
next
you
year,
can
but that's
go
gonna be
visit the
right before
USSI.
my daughter's wedding, so that's gonna be tough.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Train Fest. You know, they redid it.
Mhm.
So I have a booth for the museum, a little
Wait.
tape.
Oh, cool.
Wait a minute. So let me double check the website to confirm.
But Dave's got to check
I'm
that you
pretty
have a
sure I'm
booth.
listed there, Dave, as one of the.
Yeah, that's why I'm double checking because I don't think I saw you on the list.
He's got to see how close his booth is to yours.
Well, no, they haven't posted that yet.
They probably have a huge booth. I have the free booth.
I have the free
Okay.
booth too. Mine's just a 8-foot table with 2 chairs.
Yeah, that's
By
what
the
I
back-
got too.
by the bathroom, Dave.
I have no clue.
And I'm gonna put a sign because it's me and I can't be tied to a booth. I'll go insane. I'm gonna say Michelle will be here from 10 to 11 and 1 to 2.
Have you figured out hotel accommodations yet?
Yeah, I've stayed at the Hampton. Yeah,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
got my flight already.
I think we usually stay at the Country Inn. And that's got 2 restaurants attached to it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm flying in and flying right out because I got events on both
Oh.
sides. My big fundraiser's Thursday night, and I'll fly out Friday morning, and then I'll fly back Monday morning for a meeting Monday afternoon. And yeah, Just busy.
So it clearly says right
Oh.
here.
It says right there.
It's
See?
fine.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Even ordering a new
Right.
backdrop to pop up
Yay.
behind the table.
And then I'm listed down here. This, you
Right,
guys,
yep.
this, you actually met the owner at
It did. Amherst.
no, you met the owner at, wait, he was at Amherst?
Well, I thought so the year before. Maybe not.
Um,
Was he at the
Robin?
National Train Show?
Matt was at the National Train Show. He works for Scale Trains.
Gotcha.
East Troy.
So you-
Railroad.
Yeah, East Troy is another good place to go to, all electric. Fox River is the one that Kevin and you guys saw a couple weeks ago down in South Elgin, not too far from me.
Oh, yeah, yeah, the one Kevin was talking about, he built a little diorama of. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, cool.
Jive puff and stuff.
I got a lot of vendors.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, and look who's coming, who was not at the National Train Show.
Kato.
Oh, wow.
Kato.
Well, I think there's a lot more space at this one too. The National Train Show was pretty small.
Neil,
Um,
you coming, Neil?
Oh yeah, I'll be there with knobs on.
We'll fly
I'd
up
love
over
to.
Micro
Neil's
Mark,
got
you
another
know,
free table.
Micro Mark, you know, that's
Mhm.
our good friend.
Neil be at the D&H Historical Society.
Really?
Sure will.
There you go.
You're not going to participate in this, Michelle?
No, that'll be local people.
This is another good place to go to, the National Railroad Museum. That's up in Green Bay.
I visited
Oh,
there.
I do second National Railroad Museum, Dave.
You know, it's an interesting story about Kato. They
Damn,
came out to
projects.
Portland, Oregon for the convention, national convention in 2016, I want to say it was. And they actually stopped by the hobby shop I was working at, and they were asking, well, what do people want that would make Kato a better product and more marketable? I said, scale size handrails are closer to scale handrails and better detail on their locomotives. And he said, and he told me point blank, we preached and preached and preached to the supervisors and people over in Japan, and they don't care. They're not interested.
And
Wow.
what's something
They have the best drive in the world, in my opinion,
Mm.
but for detail, it's where they fall flat.
and something you don't know, Brian, the guy that used to do sales for Kato, left and went to, what's its name?
Alex?
Yeah, Alex
went to
Alex
Lombard.
went to, yeah, he went to Lombard. Better
Oh,
pay,
okay.
according to Paul, because I heard it straight from Paul.
I wish they'd do more HO again.
Yeah, better variety instead. The only thing to do is what, Santa Fe, New York Central, SP, and UP. And that's about it.
I mean,
Used to have a whole bunch of different roads that they do, but now it's all they ever release. Oh, and BNSF.
we've brought that up to Paul and a few others at Kato, even us as local people that want to see this even for us. And it's in one ear and out the other. It's not up to
Mm.
them. It's
It's
up
all
to,
it's all under the control of the guys in Japan, and the guys in Japan
Yeah.
don't care.
Hmm.
And they flat out told us that the people in Japan do not care.
Do you think, does it hurt their sales any, you think, at all?
I think they focus more on the N scale stuff, and they do better variety of stuff in N.
Right,
So-
sure.
I think I think if they got rid of their HO altogether, they probably wouldn't care.
Hmm.
But it's hard to say. It's a shame.
They
'Cause
definitely haven't
Yeah, really.
come out with any really new locomotives in a while. I mean, it's kind of stagnant. It's,
Yes, I've got some Kato HO stuff, and it's fantastic. I love it. You
Yeah.
know?
I love
Now-
their G35s. You know, it's
I've got it's a NW2
mhm.
and 3 of the SD40-2s. The
Yeah.
NW2 is the old ATSF one, which would actually fit the era I'm gonna model. And the SD40-2s are the BNSF. I got the one black and orange one with like the swoosh lettering, and the other two are the pumpkin the green and orange.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think you call that the Heritage, maybe
Heritage One.
the wide stripe.
Heritage One.
BNSF, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, H1.
Okay.
I agree
You know,
with Brian.
that was-
My best 3 locomotives, I bought them in the late 80s. They were Cato, their first HO locomotive was the SD40. I've got 2 Chessies and a CSX, and they're still today. They're as fine a running locomotive as I have.
Yeah, they take a beat and keep on going.
Yeah.
The NW2 is another one that we at the shop recommended. Hey, do another run of the NW2s. You haven't done them in 15 years. No, and upgrade them to DCC friendly. Because right now for the NW2, you have to mill out the little bit of the frame in order to fit a decoder the way that it's set up.
The one I got had been
No
converted.
interest
It
there.
doesn't have sound in it, and it's got a little tiny Digitrax decoder that actually fits on the bottom up in the fuel tank. It doesn't have sound, and I changed the lights and I put the LED lights in the cab, in the front and back, and it looks great. It's silent, but it runs great. Like I said, it was converted over before I got it. Y'all might remember that's the one that came, and it had the big lump in the roof that had been melted by the bulb, and the guy that sold it said, no, it wasn't like that. That wasn't, that's, it was fine. But the pictures he had on his eBay auction clearly did not show the little hump in the roof, but I was able to fix it. But in the meantime, I went ahead and bought a replacement body kit,
Sure.
with the handrails and everything, because it was missing a couple of those things too. So I changed out the body and put all the handrails on it, and it looks great. And it runs fantastic. Love it.
Yeah, they're dynamite. Well, and you look at the old yellow box Atlas units that I think it was Rod was talking about earlier. His first D&H locomotive was a yellow box with a Kato drive. It's an Atlas locomotive with Kato drive.
Right.
And they're old. Before they started doing their own, they had the Kato drive for the Century series, the RS11s, the RS3s, the RSD4 and 5s. So they had 5 or 6 locomotives that they offered, all with a Kato drive.
I remember those. So what else? I see Gerald working on something. Were you still working on those flat cars or something, Gerald?
Yeah, I'm working on the bolsters now. I got six in the production line.
Cool. Are you back at the house for right now?
I'm in Arizona now.
Back in Arizona.
I flew back. Yeah, I flew back on the 1st.
Okay.
Ken, I don't know if y'all that video that I posted the other day, that was a glimpse at Cliff's the Cliff Powers. That was his new layout. He's very secretive about it. I was scared he was going to tell me I shouldn't have posted it, but because he's very secretive about it. But I mean, it was we spent as he called it a fun run day over there Sunday.
Cool. Well, isn't that because he's got an article on it coming out?
He does.
Yeah.
For next year, I think. So.
I hate I missed y'all when I was in town, Joe.
Look, it's been a busy month for me and a lot of rain. So.
Does that go where the pool? No, it doesn't.
It's been a lot going on. It still is. So.
Are those trees cut down yet, Joe?
No. The rain has kept me from doing that because that lift weighs 25,000 pounds. And so I don't want to put it in my backyard until it's dry enough. I don't want to rut it up and then have to spend the day, fixing my yard. This weekend would have been a great weekend. We had with the 3-day weekend, but I didn't have one available. Neither of the guys that I could go rent one, but both of these guys are like, hey, just you haul it, it's yours. So that's what happens when you're in the business. So, I mean, it would have cost me, I don't know, $600 to go rent one this weekend, 60 plus. So I'll take the free one. So
yeah, it's worth waiting for.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I hope so. I'm getting antsy though. I should have already had concrete on the ground, but like I said,
you can't do concrete when it's raining either. So
right. But I should have had it. But my plan was to put it in like April or May. Then like I said, the trees kind of, hey, that's a lot of money. I mean, I've saved enough on the trees to to build the training room. So I mean, it's kind of a
There you go.
no-brainer.
Is your winter weather conducive to construction?
Oh yeah, yeah. If we have a half a dozen days that are below freezing, it's a yeah. We
Abnormal.
we did last year, but who knows what? But it's normally not a big deal. I mean, it's cool in the mornings and it'll warm up in the 60s, 50s,
Nice.
60s, 70s in the daytime. So I mean, you put a long sleeve shirt on and you go out there and you get after it. So
Nice.
as long as I get the concrete in, let it set up. I mean, it'll take me about 2 weekends to frame it up and get it blacked in. Once that happens, I mean, then I can throw a heater in there if it's cold enough and get after it. So
Yeah.
it'll get done, but I'm chomping at the bit. My wife's ready to get the office. Well, she started working from home about 3 weeks ago, even though the office was only less than a mile and a half away, but they really don't need the office. So my training room here, I don't know, I've told y'all it's about 9 foot by 14, so it's a good office. So I mean, she's ready to get it back. So
I'm ready to give it back too.
I'm ready to give it to her. I mean, 8 by 14 versus 18 by 28.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
For sure. It's like I got a little bit more room in this one, and the closet is like 4 foot deep and like 5 foot wide.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of a way maybe just to go through the wall for the helix, but I think I'm going to end up opening up the whole wall, for the door, have a double wide door. So
This is what Rod just posted.
oh, cool.
Ooh. Where's all the shovels?
There's
I
a
don't
guy
see enough
sitting in the-
supervisors.
Hey, that backhoe's illegal. It doesn't have a cab on it.
Well, maybe
Where's OSHA?
Oh,
is it legal in Australia, Neil?
what's that?
The
The backhoe with no ROPS on it, no rollover protection.
No, it must have a cab plus other things. But
So this is illegal. This is illegal.
No, that's not.
No, that's
Bobcat
fine.
wouldn't be. Or
Yeah.
skid.
The skid
So
steer's
which is
fine.
the-
You
which is
sit
the
inside
working
of it,
one?
but the backhoe doesn't have a ROPS on it. Doesn't have a rollover protection system. So
No, that's right.
So
You
which
know,
of the
I-
people
the
is
only thing
working?
The only thing I see is wrong with it is there's way too many workers and not enough supervisors.
This
one
track
is
here
actually
goes
working.
nowhere.
yeah, it looks like they're all standing around watching.
Except I don't see where his his new turnout is going to be.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good question.
Interesting.
Maybe where the backhoe is.
Yeah, that's possible. I don't know.
I've got some
Maybe find out
exciting,
next week.
What's that, Brian?
finally got around to getting some decals made.
Ah, cool.
Hey, I know that guy.
Nice.
Cool.
They he posted on Facebook for some AGR freight cars. And
Yes.
I asked him, hey, what would it take to get you to just take the AGR lettering and change it to BSR? And we worked it out, and so I've got 4 sheets of this in black and 4 sheets of it in white. So that should last me a little while.
Nice.
Andrew, you
Nice.
recognize where this came from? Because I know him.
Yes,
Christopher?
yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
He used to volunteer up. He used to volunteer up at the museum before.
Yeah,
He
and the
moved
diesel
not too
farm
far
factory
from
would-
Mr.
would
Ken.
be-
Scale graphics.
Cool.
Yeah, Ken, the guy that made those graphics, not too far from you. Again,
Really? Where is
yeah.
it?
Yeah, let me.
I can look it up, Dave.
So can I. I got a quicker, easy way. I just gotta go find Ken's house and go a couple towns over.
It's not
Ken,
Lafayette, huh?
Ken, I'm surprised that Kyle hasn't wanted to join us on Wednesday nights yet.
Oh, yeah, really?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised.
How's
Dave,
how's he doing, by the way?
He's doing good. He's chomping at the bit, Tom, to come back
No,
to New
he is.
Orleans. I get random text every now and then. I know they'll oh Ken, he goes, I don't know what they're gonna do with Ken moving away. I told him, I said, I think it'll be just fine. So I said, there's other people. So
It just needs other people to step up. Just like when it was my turn, I stepped up, did what I felt like I needed to do. you
Yeah.
know? So
But-
next man up, right?
Tom, he keeps asking me, he said, I know they'll be open again. You're gonna take me to New Orleans. I'm like, yes, I'll take you to New Orleans, Kyle. So he will go, his parents will let him go anywhere with me. But it's funny, when we go to lunch on Saturdays, he's not riding with anybody. He'll ride with me or his parents. That's it.
Uh-huh.
Nobody else. Nobody. So we still get a kick out of him at Middendorf's. We're sitting out there eating, and here comes a southbound train, and Kyle gets up and runs through the kitchen and goes
God.
out the back door. And I'm apologizing to the waitress and all. She's like, oh, it's okay. She'd already talked to him, so she had obviously, she figured out. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, oh no, it's okay. I'm like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, he's a good kid, man. He really is.
Yeah, he is. He's Kyle's probably 27. He's autistic, very, very functional, but social skills it's taken a long time, but it's what's unique about him and Will that's been down there is they have been coming to the museum to see the trains that we have since they were little kids. Their parents brought them to Metro Center when we had the museum, the display there.
Mhm.
You never know, the kids that come see you today, that they may be part of the club, down the road.
That's right.
And they're the younger generation for us. I mean, we've got Jordan, Will, Kyle, and Jimmy, and all three of those guys are under the age of 30. I mean, for the longest, I was the youngest, and I'm 51. So,
Mhm. That's great. I've got one of the back at Volkswagen where I just left work in Metairie. Turns out we got this new tech started, and it was a girl. Her name was Emily, and I didn't put two and two together. Her last name is Forcade, and like John Forcade, the old Saints quarterback. Okay, but I didn't put two and two together because we had a junior member a while back, Andrew Forcade, and his grandfather, his grandfather's Ron Johnson. And one day I was walking by her toolbox, and she had it open, and there was a picture in there. And I asked her, I got a question for you. Who's this guy in the picture? She's like, that's my grandpa. It's like, is that Ron Johnson? She's like, yeah. It's like, I know him. And then she had a picture of Andrew in like a cap and gown with a girl. It's like, who's this? It's like, my brother. Is that Andrew? She's like, yeah. I said, I know them from train clubs. She's like, get out of here. No kidding. But when she found out I was leaving, Ron didn't know about it. So when she told Ron, he's like, what's going to happen to the train club? But she's all into, he's almost 86, and his health is starting to fail a little bit. But she's asking me, how can Andrew and I help the club and maybe get Ron, a little bit active to help them out? I was like, I gave her Greg's phone number. I said, technically they're supposed to be members to work on the club and the layout, but right now they need every able-bodied hand they can get. Either
Right.
somebody to hold up a backdrop or fascia, or somebody puts a screw in. I said, call Greg and see what he says. They probably welcome you to come out and help. They're thinking about reviving the work night Wednesday, like we did a few years ago. When we built the modular layout, it was modular Monday. Then we did the work night Wednesday for working on layout, because on Friday nights when it's open running, sometimes it's kind of hard to work on a layout when there's a train coming every 2 minutes.
Right.
But I hadn't heard anything from either side yet, so hopefully they'll get something going to get the inside of the building done. The ceiling's fixed, but they got to get the layout DCC put back in and tested and working, and check the layout, see if anything needs repairing on the track. But hopefully the sooner the better.
Ken,
Yeah.
Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Okay, yeah, that's between Kenner where I was and where I am now.
Yeah, like I said, still
Okay.
not too far from you.
No.
Yeah,
it's not
it's
that
less
far.
than an hour.
Not
from
at
me.
all. 3.5 hours for me.
That's
Before
right.
he
Right,
used-
right next to where all the casinos are in Biloxi.
Right.
I have to go, guys. I have a meeting at 7:30 for me.
Okay.
Oh, that's in
Yeah,
10
okay.
minutes, yeah.
Nice to see you. Great
see ya.
talking.
Nice to see you,
See you
Michelle.
later.
Bye, wear the
Bye.
shirt.
Okay, y'all have a great week. See ya.
See you
Good
next
night.
time.
Yeah, he used to go to Naperville High School up here before him and his mom moved down to Mississippi to take care of grandparents.
Gotcha.
Is he an ops guy, Dave?
Hmm?
Is he like ops?
Well, he used to, when him and his mom have been up at the museum for years. They helped restore, they were helping restore the, hold on, Andrew. I've known him longer. He's helped him and his mom have been doing restoration work on the electroliner that there's only one of two of. Him and his mom have been working on that. When Chris is not helping mom, he's helped me replace light bulbs in the signal display. He's also worked in the diesel department too.
Is he a model railroader?
Yes.
Definitely.
Do you like model railroad ops?
Yeah, not 100%.
Okay.
I'm
You
going
can
to
send
say
in my
yeah,
name if you want.
I'm going to say yes, but I don't know for sure.
Glenn, since you brought that up, it looks like they got me on the schedule for working Saturday.
I figured.
So, but like I said, we'll see how it works out next month. But I'm gonna see about making it to Ken's for the meeting the following Saturday.
Okay.
So nothing else, maybe I'll get to meet everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, what else is anybody working on?
Watching an eBay auction, waiting till my turn. And it's not even for me.
Oh,
It's not even for me.
okay. Okay, Brian's working on the corner.
I've moved on from the road and now I'm working on putting in the what do you call it, the terrain to build up to where the mill is. Just it's been open. I was gonna keep it flat, but then I decided to put some negative space, as they call it, just greenery.
Yeah,
So it'll
cool.
be pastured down towards where the little grass mat is, and then as you get up into the hills, I'm gonna put a bunch of trees to just kind of separate the scene.
Like it. Yeah,
Because in
like it.
theory, the two towns are 70 miles apart.
I see the time machine DeLorean on the shelf.
Oh yes, gotta have the one.
I just saw the other day when I was going through Thingiverse, which has all kinds of stuff to print. I saw an HO scale Yeti or Bigfoot, and I'm gonna put one in and see how long it takes people to find it.
Tom, you need to add that to the New Orleans layout. You know, you got a submarine.
We got two of them.
We actually have
Oh,
two
do
of
you?
them on there over by
Yeah,
the
we
swamp.
actually,
Yeah,
Yeah,
over
we've
by
got
the
two
swamp
Bigfoots.
there's two of them. They actually used Chewbacca and Bigfoot.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
called a
my
Rougarou down
soon-to-be
there, though,
son-in-law
right?
A Rougarou? Yeah, that's what.
likes to go up
Rougarou.
in the mountains and look for Sasquatch. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were skunk apes.
Rougarou is the one that's in Honey Island.
Hey,
Supposedly.
raised up.
I don't know if the submarine is that unique though. I mean, I watched the Hunt for Red October again the other day, and they took it up a river. So I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily a unique thing.
actually the submarine from Hunt for Red October is located right here in Portland, Oregon.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yep,
Cool.
it's right near the Oregon Rail Heritage Center Museum. It's like 2 minutes from there. So right to the
We
river.
we should go redecorate it and make it the submarine from the Russians are coming.
You go.
I mean, the
I
only
know
thing,
Some of y'all remember that movie.
Yeah,
I mean, the only thing up by us that they do movie related every year is a reenactment of Groundhog Day
Oh,
in the Woodstock Square on Groundhog Day with the whole entire scene. Even though it's taking place in Pennsylvania, it's also taking place up here in Woodstock
Interesting.
Neat.
because that's where it was filmed. Which, if Andrew didn't see it, which I'm surprised he didn't, he would recognize Matt Shop a few times in the movie.
they filmed the librarians here in Portland as well, and Leverage. And there were a couple episodes of Leverage that actually were filmed on the Oregon Pacific Railroad short line that I used to volunteer on. They did a couple of stunt scenes where they were jumping off of a overpass onto the top of a boxcar.
Well, Bob, have you done any more work on yours, your layout?
I just finished up my 5th panel today.
Control panel?
Yeah,
5th out of how many?
out of 5.
Okay, cool.
That's just the panels. Now they're ready for the buses to go in.
Yeah, yeah, but that's an important accomplishment.
That's still progress. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the way I look at it. Progress.
exactly. That's awesome. Well, Mike, you been doing anything on yours or not?
I started a little bit. I did make some more castings, which I'm going to put into what's supposed to be a creek. No, wait a second. Maybe that's the Animas River. Anyway, I got to look at my plans again. But yeah, I
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
some
Yep.
some new castings for the bridge abutments.
Okay, cool. I see a bunch of green lights. That's a good sign.
Green's good.
Yes,
Yeah.
it means go.
Green is always
Now.
good.
Cool.
Has anybody used any of the when I was at at Cliffs this weekend, I did not realize that around the trestle that he bought they're not rocks for castings, but it's like sheets of rocks and they're rubber and you just put them in. You can go up and push the rocks and they're soft. And I did not realize that. He said they can come in big sheets and you just cut out what you want and put them up there and pass around. But they're rubber. I mean, but they stay there. They're not designed as a casting.
Okay, cool.
I'd never seen
you just
those.
glue them on, I guess.
You just glue them on. I'd never seen that before.
Cool.
So you're going up poking the rocks and they're squishy.
So do you glue them on and then paint them?
Exactly. And he just cut some pieces out, and put them where he wanted them. And then, obviously where if the area there's no rock, you just kind of plaster, around them or whatever like that. But I had never seen them before.
Huh. I don't think I've seen them.
Was very unique.
I remember seeing a layout years and years and years ago. A guy took some kind of foam rubber that was kind of like that, it's kind of squishy and he used it on the from his fascia to the track along the edge because people were always going up and putting their elbows on the edge of the railroad. And so he made this soft, cushy, and he covered it with ground foam, and it was kind of neat,
I think the guys at MR used some of that stuff when they built that N-scale Canadian Canyons layout.
Oh.
I can't remember 100%, but I think they might have used some of that on that one. And that reminds me, I need to call them. I'm missing a couple of magazines from MR. I don't know if they got lost in the move or they got sent to Kenner. I'll have to check with my neighbor, see if I got any of them in the mail. But we got a stack of mail here the other day that they were holding for us at the post office. And I think I got September, but I can't find my July, August, and September issues. But I know I haven't received October yet. Did anybody get their October MR already?
Yeah, I think mine came
Yeah,
Saturday.
got mine today.
I haven't.
The hobby shop just got them. Our hobby shop just got them in the last couple days.
Okay, I'll
What's the
maybe
hobby
give that a
shop?
couple more days. I know I found the box I have in, I know I've got June. And I know I think the last one I actually received in the mail was the one with the Utah belt on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I had it and read it. I just can't find it. I don't know where I packed it.
Maybe you'll find it
You
eventually.
put it in a safe place.
I know, very safe place.
That's the problem. Safe places are tough to find.
True.
Yeah, it's like
the
I've
black
been
paint I
looking for
found.
the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've been looking for a little LED light that I bought, and I went through everything. I looked under the seats of my car. I looked under the seat of my wife's car. I was just going nuts. Finally, it dawned on me. I have this little carrier that I put all my cleaning supplies in, and I looked in there, and sure enough, there it was. I had evidently put it in that just because I was cleaning up stuff after cleaning the car out.
Yeah. You know, it's funny when we got our Hyundai Santa Fe Sport, the day we got it, we picked it up at the dealership in Baton Rouge, and we went to a guy's house over on the west side of the river from Baton Rouge, over the Mississippi River on I-10, and I was picking up some brake lines for my wife's 944 because we were converting from ABS to non-ABS because the ABS pump kept going out. And Marissa was eating a bag. She was in the back seat eating a bag of Skittles, and she dropped one. To this day, we have not found that little Skittle. I don't know where it disappeared to. It's in the car somewhere. It's under a seat, under carpet somewhere. That thing, wherever it went, it disappeared into that car into nowhere land. So
That's funny.
one day when that car gets crushed, a little Skittle is going to go.
Gonna hit somebody in the head.
Yeah, probably put someone's eye out.
The Skittles last revenge.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can lose in a car. And it's like, I mean,
Well, that's
when I
like
don't-
my daughter went with a friend of ours. Well, my ex, both my daughters, their daughter and her, they went to Arizona. Well, they came back and my daughter couldn't find her camera. And she looked everywhere. They tore that car apart. Finally, somebody reached down for whatever reason, and they found the camera down underneath the seat, back seat. It's like, geez.
Wow. All the little nooks and crannies where seats fold and stuff when you fold them up.
Mhm.
And when it's not folded up, it's got that negative space where things fall and disappear to. That's crazy. So what else is going on? Glenn, you make any more trees?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull some pictures up now.
Cool.
I just went and snuck over there and took them. Now I gotta wait for it to load up.
Okay. How many people you got scheduled so far for Saturday that I'm gonna miss? This time?
Just one so far, but a lot of them won't tell me till Friday night.
Okay,
That's when the drop dead is to let me know.
gotcha. We got my daughter's having tailgate party Sunday for the football game. Can't
What
wait for
football
that. That'll
game
be
is
fun.
Sunday?
The real professional sport game, Saints and
Yeah.
Falcons.
The Aints.
We were in
Easy.
Lori and I
Easy
were at Walmart yesterday evening. Was it yesterday? Or it might have been Monday. And they got the little sports area with all the sports, shirts. And of course, I don't do college sports, but I noticed all they have is Alabama and Auburn. And everybody over here asking, are you Alabama or are you Auburn? I'm like, neither. They're like, what? What are you, LSU? I'm like, no.
The fun thing about Alabama is that living in Alabama, if you're not an Alabama or an Auburn fan, you have twice as much fun because you can aggravate both sides.
That's right. We were actually over at her house Sunday, and they had she cooked dinner Sunday, and had the LSU Florida State game on. So they, I sat and I was watching it with them, and it was actually turned out to be a pretty good game until the dude got his extra point blocked. It's like, come on, you did all that work and then you screw up on that.
Yeah, well, I'm a diehard Iowa fan, having grown up there and actually attended the University of Iowa. They had the strangest game last Saturday. They had two touchbacks and a field goal and won the game because who were they playing? I can't even remember who they were playing.
Is that Hawkeyes?
Yeah, the Hawkeyes.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget who they were playing.
Well, Mississippi State played Memphis. We got slaughtered last year because we didn't have a field goal kicker. So Mike Leach goes out and gets a couple of transfers that are supposed to be jam up field goal kickers. And we still don't know if they can kick a field goal because they didn't try any Saturday. All he did was kick extra points. So we'll see.
Hey, extra points are better than field goals.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, if Mississippi State's not playing, I'm not going to watch college. I went there. My son's there.
I didn't realize how serious that Auburn Alabama rivalry is until my grandsons grew up. I got 4 of them. They grew up in Birmingham, and 3 of them graduated from Auburn, and the 4th one's a sophomore there. And they got friends that they grew up with that went to Alabama that won't even talk to them because they went to Auburn.
State Ole Miss is that way. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. But it wasn't that bad until Dan Mullen. When Dan Mullen became Mississippi State's head coach, he fueled the fire. In all of the 8 or 9, 10 years that he was there, he never called them Ole Miss, University of Mississippi. He said he called them T-Sun, that school up north. We're talking about Starkville's here on the map and Oxford's right here. I mean, we're talking about barely north of.
Jeez.
But he called him T-Sun, and so he fired up that deal. And I'm telling you, it's
One of my grandsons got married. His wife went to Mississippi State, and they actually live in Starkville. Her family's in Starkville, and they get a little tough on Ole Miss. But I did not realize the Alabama Ole Miss or Alabama Auburn thing, man.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
It's crazy.
Sunday should be interesting with the Saints and Falcons because neither one of them have a decent quarterback. But I think maybe Jameis Winston might be a little bit better than Marcus Mariota.
No, he's way better than Mariota.
Yeah, I think he is.
Mariota was a great college quarterback, but yeah, he hasn't done too well in the NFL. He was the Oregon Ducks quarterback for
I don't think the Falcons definitely did not get an upgrade with him. But Matt Ryan is famous for choking anyway, so it's still like Cam Jordan's comment a couple of months ago, when they traded him to Baltimore, where he released him and he went to Baltimore. He was like, oh, he was my favorite quarterback to sack.
Yeah, my picture's loaded now.
Oh, cool. Let's go. Let's see.
See if I can share the screen.
Ken, isn't it a little odd that they're playing a division game on the first one?
No, it's not. They usually start and end the season with division games.
I think our schedule is the first 2 or 3 division games, aren't they?
I guess I never paid attention to that.
I know. I don't know about. I think they usually start with maybe 1 or 2, and the last few years the NFL has scheduled it so the last at least 1 or 2 have also been division games to help make more interest in the end of the season and make the games matter more. Okay, so there's a bunch of Glenn's trees with his trestle, which is
Yep.
really nice.
Is that microengineering?
Yes,
Okay, thought it was.
Cool.
Very nice.
I've added about 80 trees in the area of these two pictures.
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow.
And I got
Oh,
more made. All the skewers are where trees are gonna go in. I just haven't got
Okay.
them planted. I got them finished. Deborah came out and made trees since I can't do it right now. So I got another 30 or so I can put in, or I think there's 27 skewers left to fill
Wow.
in.
That's one thing a layout will eat up trees real fast.
I'm at 2,400 right now,
Wow.
Wow.
and I probably got to hit at least 3,000.
Good one, man.
Dang.
Looks good though, Glenn.
Thank you.
Really does. Looks real good.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, I got to visit Glenn's layout, early days when we were over here and, before we even found a house, when we were thinking about moving over here. So, he's got a really nice layout.
Okay, and then how do I get off of?
Should be at the top since we
There
stopped
it is.
sharing.
The red blotch at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got it, maybe.
I enjoyed operating on it, Glenn. I wished I lived closer.
Yeah, I got to get back up and see you again.
Did you ever stop by my layout?
Yeah, I've been there once. I want to go back. I had a train from Mobile to Gunnersville and back.
Yeah.
And you asked me if I had any comments, and I hadn't given them to you, but I had a 10-car train out of Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
5 of those cars I took to Gunnersville and then carried them back to Mobile.
Gotcha. I got to figure out. I'm still struggling trying to figure out all the JMRI. So bear with me, and if you can help me with that anyway, I'm willing to listen.
Man, I spent so many years with another system that I had to get somebody to help me.
Yeah.
I'm in there tweaking it some now because I've lost the guy. He just recently moved to South Carolina on me.
Welcome to the preliminary photos that the Bears have posted. This is their new stadium that's going to be not too far from me.
That's the one they're gonna make an entertainment district.
That's here and here.
So they're gonna get rid of Soldier Field?
No,
Okay.
No,
What are they
so
gonna do?
supposedly they were gonna get rid of Soldier Field.
I haven't
Is
heard
what
that. They've only got 3 photos posted. There's supposed to be a meeting tomorrow night with more information. But this is the train station, and I'm going to get out of here and then go do Plan B.
Are they still doing it at the old racetrack, Dave?
What?
The new Bears Stadium.
Wait, they haven't even started construction. It's still standing.
Okay, yeah, because what it looked like, yours looked like Arlington Heights,
It is.
but the racetrack is technically Arlington Park.
Yeah, potato.
Okay, so what's going on with Soldier Field?
Tomato.
Because Dave, my doctor, back when I used to still drive, I would still have to go down to her. Her office was literally was about a mile-ish to the south.
This is what it looks like currently.
Okay.
So this is all going to be converted into Soldiers Field.
Oh, wow.
So it's gonna be a new Soldier Field?
Well, the new Bears
Mhm.
Stadium, whatever their name they're going to call it.
Okay.
But
Have they got a team? Have they got a team in Chicago?
yeah, the Bears.
Funny about that.
Yeah, they got a hockey team. They got a hockey team.
Now, here's some pluses and minuses. One, you can take the train to get to here, because this is the metro train station for Arlington Park for the racetrack. And 53 is a major expressway.
Hmm.
And from here, which I drive past every single Friday, is I go a couple of blocks down the street.
Hmm.
And our club is over here.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Our club is over here. So this is where we park. This is where I go Friday nights. So I drive past that every Friday night to get to the club. So you can clearly see not too far. That's why on Friday nights when I'm driving, I don't show where I'm driving, but if they start making progress, well, I might make a detour every Friday night and say, hey, here's where it is.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
Nice.
So this is Cliff's new layout. I'll probably get in trouble for this, but this is where we're at so far. I say we have operating sessions there, but I hate to say this. Cliff knows this. His modeling skills are just out the door. I mean, it's amazing. So if you look over into the back right corner, you can see at the very back wall, you can see a yellow box sitting on top of the layout there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my town. That's Haggard, West Virginia.
Sure
Everybody has something.
Hazard County.
Yeah, everybody has something named after them. The town to the left against the wall is Stanton, after Dr. Mark.
Okay.
You've met Slade before. He's come to New Orleans. On the right of the trestle behind those trees, there's a hotel there, and it's called Exley, E-X-L-E-Y, Exley Inn, after Slade. Over on the left side, there's Holditch Furniture Company after Allen. It's just crazy. But yeah, those are the rubber rocks that I was telling y'all about right there in the center of the screen.
Okay. Neat. Look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look great. I mean, it's amazing. I wish you could see if you look just to the left of the center wall, you can see a bridge that kind of curves around right there.
Oh, yeah.
My gosh, I wish I had some better pictures of that. Well, I do somewhere, but yeah, the MA&G was all in the right-hand side of this picture. It was 14 by 32. So he took down part of the wall and he doubled it. So now it's 28 by 32. So
wow,
nice size layout. But he did that trestle by hand. I don't have that kind of patience. I don't have that kind of patience.
Did he build it in place or did he build it and then install it?
So he's a STEM teacher at one of the private schools here in town, and he really doesn't. He only has like 3 classes or something. So he built all of the upright pieces at work, and all of the outside has rivet detail on it. So he built it at home, and then he made a mock-up of that right there, built it in place, and then sat the whole thing down in place. So, but anyway, yeah, this guy's got more modeling skills in his pinky than I've got in my whole body. So definitely something to aspire to.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only that's probably got equal skills is Greg, who's sometimes on here.
Yeah, with his buildings. You see that
His
latest one he posted?
Just
It's amazing.
incredible.
I know.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's the great thing about sharing stuff like this. It makes you want to aspire to be, a better modeler.
It does.
Yeah. Well, I've scratch built my own trestles on a couple of places on my layout, and they don't look anything like that. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm telling you, Cliff is. It's amazing what he can do. I mean, and we go over about every 2 months. We'll have a get together. We've got an ops session scheduled second Saturday in October, but we operated the layout about 4 times before he put the first lick of scenery on it. He wanted to make sure that everything flowed like it should, and we didn't have any, any major hangups before he started putting scenery on it. So
Yeah, that's a good thing to do. That's a lot of people talk about doing it that way. The only thing is, a lot of people get hung up and never go back and do scenery.
yeah,
But to go back and do the scenery makes it look so much better. I think so.
He originally built that layout to where you were going to be able to run 4 trains, 2 on the upper and 2 on the bottom level, and simultaneously, and that was it. He built it just to run, and we got to talking about operations, and we convinced him. And he said Sunday, he said, "Man," he said, "I am so glad that I changed and decided we were going to do that," because he said it is so much more enjoyable than just. But he's one of those guys that the thrill for him is in the creation of it, in the building of it.
He was going to build a rail fan layout. Now he's got an operational that you can still rail fan.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
He said the MA&G, the reason he tore it down or got rid of it was because he had nothing left to do. It was built. I mean, there was nothing, so he got rid of it and started from scratch. So,
well, that's one reason why I took my old one down. It was going to come down anyway.
Right.
Because I had, plans for what I want to build, and it would have barely fit in that room. Now I got a little bit bigger footprint to build it on. So, and the thing is, the room layout is really pretty much the same as the old room, where the door behind me, that's the doorway into the room, which is basically the door and the closet are in the same positions of the old bedroom that the layout was in. And it's just longer this way, and a little bit longer this way. And of course the closet's bigger. So right now the closet's full of stuff.
You want to have your layout starting in the planning phase before you ever even decided to buy another place.
That's right. I had pretty much, some rough sketches on paper, and ideas in my head of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. And like I said, that layout was coming down anyway. It just came down a lot quicker and sooner than I expected.
Hey, so I got a question. Anybody that's in clubs, do y'all buy trains for your friends and have them shipped to your house so that their wife won't find out?
That's a good ploy.
No, but we have a member of the Crescent City Club that has done that. And Tommy, you can guess who that is.
This is a brass car. It's hard to see from the light. This is a brass Union Pacific car that Greg, one of the guys that's been down with me, white hair, mustache and all, his wife, he can't buy on eBay because his wife will throw a fit. This is a brass Union Pacific Selma North Bank executive business car. There's 54 minutes left. Right now it's at $1,250.
Oh my God.
He's authorized me to go as high as $1,575.09.
Wow.
So,
he better have a separate bank account.
He'll have a lot of cash, and she knows he's doing it, but he just this way it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. So he texted me today. He says, "Yo, Joe," he said, "Can you bid on this car for me?" he calls me his enabler.
Wow, that's crazy. And I thought I'm crazy buying that $800 Blue Goose.
Well.
And I did put, like I said, put my order in for the reefer cars last night with Tony's. And
right.
I went ahead and I brought up all the pictures, looked at all the build dates and all that. And I ordered 8 of them with,
oh, wow.
The latest build date was like late in 1940. I might have got one in 41. I think maybe 5 or 41. But I went ahead and got 8 of them because I've got 2 of another run, and I've got 3 of the CB&T shops or C&BT shops that are kit form. I've got 1 of those built, and I really believe that that's the tooling that Intermountain got to make theirs, because the kits are so much alike
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got one of those built. I got 2 more I need to build. So that'll give me like 13 of those nicely detailed, reefers with the right production dates on them. In 13 different numbers. I think that'll probably be enough for the layout.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe between now and then I might order a couple more. But there, like I said, it's a pre-order, and it came up to like about $289 with the shipping. Of course, they don't bill you until they ship them.
Right.
In fact, I'm gonna go jump over onto the website and see what the release date was supposed to be. Hang on, let me see. Y'all keep
That's a
talking.
hole in the ground.
That is a hole in the ground. It's been an interesting few weeks. We got a call from the city water department saying, "Hey, you guys have a leak." So
You got a what?
yes, they said we have a water leak.
Oh,
And it definitely was not within the house. So most of our front grass was dead, except for this one little area where I figured that had to be where the leak is because it was getting water. Well, I spent most of the weekend digging that hole. It's 6 feet long, 2 feet deep. Showed just how out of shape I really am. And and didn't come anywhere near a pipe. So I ended up calling yesterday afternoon and calling a leak detection company. They came out. I could have dug for a week and not found the leak. It was actually on the opposite side of the yard. I now know exactly where it is, and I get to dig another hole.
You dug that by hand?
I dug that by hand.
I guess I'm spoiled with I have toys at work, so I don't dig anything by hand.
Next door neighbor it works in construction, and he brings his toys home all the time. And in the time that I did this hole, he had dug a 3 foot by 2 foot trench along the entire length of his backyard, plus a 4 foot ditch going from the middle to the corner of the backyard to lay some drain pipe for a retaining wall he's building. And I walked over to chat with him at one point, and I go, "Yep, your hole's bigger than mine." And he makes much better progress than I was. So
Where's all the rock that's in the ground?
Luckily, there was very little. I was quite surprised. I'm wondering if when they graded for the house, they put some fill dirt in, because there were rocks, but really
Looks
not
like
that
good dirt.
Yeah, and I've already refilled the hole. So, but now I get to go dig a new one and have my next door neighbor who does the construction. He's going to help me with the actual repair work once I get it opened back up.
I live in an old volcanic area, and we've got rocks here that grow.
Oh, I believe our backyard is absolutely horrible. It is nothing grows back there because there's so much rock. It's just terrible.
I'll tell you what's fun is out here in Colorado, a lot of the newer housing, well, it's probably 40 years ago, but a lot of the newer housing is on old irrigated land, like wheat and stuff. And there is a layer anywhere from 5 inches to a foot that's almost impenetrable.
Wow.
It's terrible. In fact,
bring a jackhammer.
The first house I bought, my neighbor worked for a heavy equipment company. And so he brought home his service truck while we went and rented a skid steer with an auger on it to drill holes for a fence between his yard and my yard and so on. He had that auger, both front wheels, that almost had the whole thing, up on that auger bit before it would even go into the ground.
Wow.
It was terrible. Because we had one of those 2-man gas-powered augers, and it took us forever. I mean, it was like 3 hours to do one hole.
Jeez. Crazy. And you only have to go down a couple feet for for a fence post at most.
Yeah, but
But,
the problem was it was getting past that layer.
yeah.
And so I was also going to put in a deck at that time. So I marked out where I wanted my post for my deck, and we punched all of those in at the same time. I buried, they were 5 to 6 foot long posts that I buried with like 2 to 3 feet out of the ground. Well, that thing wasn't moving.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that it was made out of oak.
Yeah.
Framing was all oak. My dad worked at Coors at the time, and they had a scrap yard, and these big tanks would come in from Germany, and they were crated in oak, and it was like 2 by 8, and it wasn't dimensional lumber, it was 2 by 8.
Oh wow.
And so I went through 3 drills, power drills, trying to drill holes in those things to put in nails. I mean, it was terrible. But I'll tell you what, that thing is probably still there. I did that, let's see. My daughter's 44. So yeah, that's been about 44 years ago when I did that.
Wow.
And I'll bet they had a heck of if they took it out, I'll bet they had a heck of a surprise when they started trying to pull it apart.
Really?
That's crazy.
All right, let's see what.
Oh, there we go.
Actually, yeah. I was just getting
This
ready to
is,
show you
Ken,
that.
this is where I saw that they were shipping the week of August 29th, but they don't say what year.
Hold on. If you let's see.
This is their flyer that they put out monthly. If you go on
Okay.
their website and go to those cars,
What's the price? $42.95.
where's it at?
Yeah,
Top
42.95.
center. Okay, I got the Tony's site up. If you when you finish sharing, I'll show you what I got. Let's see. Let's see. Come on. I had to shift my computer over because my power was going, and the cord barely reached the computer over. So I got to shift the mouse to my left hand. So bear with me here.
Yeah, if you go to Intermountain site and go down to the car, it says in production.
Whoops,
It should say shipping.
Oh, nice.
Then I go to Tony's Train Exchange.
Yeah.
See at the right there.
That's better price.
Wow, yeah.
530. Well, 531.22 is queued for production. Expected delivery sometime mid 23. So
Interesting.
I got my order in, so it's not like I need them right tomorrow.
Right.
So, but I got, like I said, I ordered 8 of them at 30.
I'll give you a little time to get your layout, get your layout built.
What's that?
Layout built before the cars show up.
That could happen. I don't have to wait for them to build it, obviously, because just obviously the first thing to do is get the closet opened up and then get the room painted. And I know Maureen wants to get her room ready for her because she's got a lot of stuff in the middle of hers, and Glenn will attest to that. So we got to get her room. Her room's going to get painted first, so she can get her room organized and get all that stuff put up and get her toolbox put in there with her heat press and everything. All that stuff's in the garage. But it's all going to be a work in progress for a while, but that's part of the fun of it, right? Building it.
Hey, guys, I'm gonna run. I gotta be up and out of here early tomorrow morning. So I'll see you guys next week.
All right,
Y'all
Tom.
have a good week.
Thanks, Tom.
Have a good one. Yeah, I gotta take off too. I gotta
talk to you
go
soon.
run a couple errands. So.
Yep, I've got to go and do the shopping. So bye, everybody.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, let's go ahead and call it a night, and we'll come back next week and see what everybody else is
All
going
right.
to do.
Sounds good.
So
Good
All right, guys,
I
next
see you
week.
next
I
week.
recorded this, so I'm
Okay.
gonna put this on the YouTube channel later on. And
Okay.
Facebook.
Okay.
All right, cool.
All right, guys.
Bye, everybody.
I know you're gonna be really in trouble.
Glenn.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, Ken.